You step onto the deck, the sun dancing on the waves, the salt air filling your lungs. The cruise staff greets you with practiced smiles. The clink of champagne glasses signals the start of your vacation, and somewhere in the background, a soft piano plays. It feels like a world suspended in perfection. But what if I told you that beneath the surface of this floating paradise lies a collection of secrets, carefully hidden from most passengers, secrets that could change how you experience every single day on board, secrets that could save you hundreds, even thousands of dollars, and in some cases, secrets that could make the difference between safety and danger. Because while cruise companies show you the glitter, the luxury, and the relaxation, they don't tell you everything. And some of what they're not telling you, you might wish you'd known before you set sail. Welcome to Cruise Watch. If you want to uncover the real cruise stories, the ones seasoned travelers whisper about, the truths buried behind the brochures, hit subscribe now. We share the cruise secrets that most passengers never hear until it's too late. Cruising is sold as the ultimate escape, one price, endless indulgence, and no worries. But what they don't advertise is the undercurrent of strategies, business deals, and operational realities that shape every decision on board. I've spoken to passengers who learn these lessons the hard way, and to crew members who've seen it all from the inside. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on 16 cruise secrets that the companies would rather you never discover. From the art hanging in the lobby, to the air flowing through your cabin, from the price of your shore excursion, to the path you take through the ship, every one of these truths could make your cruise smoother, safer, and more memorable. Let's start with one of the most surprising illusions you'll find at sea. Picture this. You're wandering the ship when you see a crowd gathered in a brightly lit lounge. A charismatic auctioneer stands before a display of vivid paintings and sculptures. Champagne flutes sparkle in the light, and the air is alive with bidding. A once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, the auctioneer says, voice full of excitement. The pieces are rare, investment grade, and only available here, today. It's hard not to get swept up in the energy. One woman I met during a Caribbean cruise certainly did. She spent $3,800 on what she believed was a rare print. It came with certificates, a beautiful frame, and the thrill of owning something special from her dream vacation. But when she returned home and took it to a local gallery for appraisal, the news hit hard. It was worth less than $500. Here's what the cruise line never told her. These auctions are almost always run by third-party companies. If there's a problem, the cruise line will say it's not their responsibility. And the auction company, they'll hide behind fine print, disclaimers, and return policies that make refunds nearly impossible. The illusion is powerful, but a seasoned cruiser knows the smart move. Take a photo of the artwork, research it online, and decide with a clear head. At sea, even the art can be a performance. Now for something much more serious. You might think that on a billion-dollar ship the technology exists to detect instantly if someone falls overboard. It does, but here's the chilling truth. Many ships still don't use it. Instead, they rely on security cameras and eyewitnesses. If no one sees it happen, hours might pass before the crew realizes a passenger is missing, and by then the ship could be dozens of miles away from where it happened. I've spoken to families who were left not only grieving but with more questions than answers. When did their loved one fall? Was it an accident? Could they have been saved if the alarm had sounded sooner? The cruise lines point to cost and reliability concerns for not installing automatic systems, but safety experts argue that's not good enough. For you as a passenger, this means one thing: never let the beauty of the open deck make you forget the risks. If you're traveling with children, elderly relatives, or anyone vulnerable, stay alert. The ocean is breathtaking, but it has no mercy. You sit down in the dining room, open the menu, and scan your options. What you see is impressive, but it's not the whole story. Behind the swinging kitchen doors, there's a quiet flexibility most passengers never realize. I once cruised with a man who had a lifelong love of mashed potatoes. They weren't on the menu that night, but he asked the waiter, almost jokingly. The next thing he knew, a steaming plate arrived, made just for him. Another night, a woman at our table requested grilled chicken and plain rice, something light after a rich lunch. It wasn't printed anywhere, but it arrived without hesitation. This isn't about making outrageous demands. It's about knowing that the chefs and kitchen crew often have more ingredients and skills than the menu reveals. Ask politely. Ask early. And you might find the best meal you eat on board was never listed at all. The sparkle draws you in. Bright glass cases, soft lighting, sales staff who greet you like royalty. You're in the middle of the ocean. Buying a piece of fine jewelry here feels glamorous, special. But here's the twist. Those stores are almost always operated by outside retailers, not the cruise line. And like the art auctions, if something goes wrong, you're stuck in a maze of blame shifting. I know a passenger who bought a diamond ring during a 50% off sale. Back home, she learned it wasn't worth even half of what she paid. The cruise line told her it wasn't their problem. The retailer was based overseas, with slow responses and no interest in helping. The displays, the offers, the atmosphere, it's all designed to make you feel like you're getting an exclusive deal. But most of the time, you're not. If you fall in love with something, take notes, take photos, and compare prices when you get home. If it's truly special, it'll still be waiting for you, and probably at a better price. You think you're choosing to spend. In reality, the ship is choosing for you. From the moment you board, you're entering an environment carefully engineered to guide your behavior. It's not just the staff recommending the drink of the day or the spa treatment on special. It's the scent of fresh bread drifting from the cafe, the warm lighting in the boutiques, the soothing background music that makes you linger just a little longer. It's called scent marketing, and it works. Studies show that the right smell, the right sound, and the right lighting can make people spend more without even realizing it. The crew is trained not just to serve you, but to subtly steer you toward the next purchase. Once you know this, you'll start to notice it everywhere. The moment you feel a sudden urge for that designer watch or that extra dessert, stop and think, is it really you deciding? Or is it the ship? The main dining room has an unspoken rule. You can have more. More appetizers, more entree, more desserts, and the best part, no one will judge you for it. One morning, I ordered 2 servings of Eggs Benedict, my absolute favorite. The waiter didn't even blink. At dinner, I've seen guests order both the steak and the salmon, simply because they couldn't choose. The cruise dining experience is designed to be indulgent. The staff takes pride in making it memorable. Just remember, be kind, don't waste food, and show appreciation. The more you respect the crew, the more they'll go out of their way to make your meals unforgettable. You book early, thinking you've locked in the best fare. But here's a secret most passengers never hear. If the price drops after you book, you might be entitled to a refund, an upgrade, or onboard credit. The catch: you have to ask. The cruise line isn't going to call you up to tell you. That's why experienced travelers set price alerts or check regularly, right up until the final payment date. I've seen people moved from an inside cabin to a balcony suite without paying a penny more, just because they noticed a price drop and made the call. It's one of the easiest ways to upgrade your cruise without touching your budget. There's something about being escorted through a door marked crew only. Suddenly you're in quiet, narrow hallways that twist through the ship, bypassing the crowds, skipping the lines. On some ships, guests in suites or with certain loyalty statuses are given access to these routes during embarkation, disembarkation, or shore excursions. It's fast, it's discreet, and it feels like stepping backstage at a theater. You won't find it in the brochure, you won't hear it announced, but if you have the right status or know to ask, you might just get to see the ship in a way most passengers never will. You hang the little "Do Not Disturb" sign on your cabin door, and forget about it. Privacy, you think, a small luxury at sea. But here's what most passengers don't realize. If that sign stays up too long, especially on the first day, it can raise quiet alarms. Cruise ships have security protocols to ensure the safety of every guest. If your cabin shows no signs of activity for hours or even a full day, crew members may knock, and if no one answers, they might come in to check. Not because they want to invade your privacy, but because on a ship, silence can sometimes mean trouble. Use the sign when you truly need peace, but don't make it a permanent fixture. That way you'll avoid unwanted knocks or awkward moments when you least expect them. The public areas of a cruise ship are stunning, but the real magic happens in the spaces most guests never see. The bridge where the captain commands the vessel, the cavernous galley kitchens that feed thousands, the hidden engine control rooms humming with life. These spaces are off limits, unless you know to ask. Many ships offer rare behind-the-scenes tours, but they're not listed in brochures or daily schedules. Sometimes they're reserved for frequent cruisers or suite guests. Other times, they're simply given to the first few people who ask at guest services. Step into one of these tours and you'll never look at your cruise the same way again. The scale, the precision, the sheer human effort, it's a world hidden in plain sight, waiting for curious passengers to discover. The moment you board, the crowd flows like water straight to the buffet. Plates clatter, people hover near the dessert bar, and the atmosphere is, let's be honest, chaotic. But just a deck or two away, the main dining room sits quiet and half empty, with linen-covered tables and waiters ready to serve you from a full menu. No trays, no lines, just calm service and better food. Seasoned cruisers skip the buffet madness and head straight here. It's the perfect way to start your vacation without fighting over the last slice of pizza. You open the door to your cabin, drop your bags, and notice it immediately. Something's wrong. Maybe it's the low rumble of engines, the rhythmic thump of machinery, or a strange vibration underfoot. Maybe it's a smell you can't quite place. Most people sigh and accept it, but you don't have to. Go straight to reception and explain the problem politely. If the ship isn't at capacity, there's a chance they can move you to a quieter spot or even offer a better view. The key is to act quickly, before other passengers start making similar requests. I've seen passengers go from a noisy inside cabin to a peaceful balcony, just because they asked at the right time. The glossy photos in the cruise brochure make shore excursions look irresistible. Crystal clear waters, private beaches, smiling guides. Booking through the ship feels safe and easy. But in many cases, you're paying twice as much for the exact same tour you could book directly with a local operator. These local guides work with cruise passengers every day. They know the schedule, they know the timing, and they make sure you're back before the ship departs. The difference: no middleman and no markup. Do your homework before you sail, read reviews, confirm pickup times, and compare prices. The savings can be enough to cover another night of fine dining on board or even your next trip. On many ships, there's a place where the wind is stronger, the view is wider, and the ocean feels like it belongs just to you. These are quiet outdoor spaces near the bow, often hidden behind unmarked doors on decks 5, 7, or 8. They're not on the ship's map, and the crew won't advertise them. But those who explore can stumble upon their own private viewing platform, perfect for watching the sunrise, arriving at port, or just breathing in the salt air in peace. Just remember, if a door says crew only, it means it. But if it's open to passengers and just not marked, you've found one of the best-kept secrets at sea. Halfway through your cruise, your suitcase starts to look tired. You could pay per item for laundry service, but that's expensive. What you won't see in the daily schedule is the unannounced laundry bag deal. One flat price to fill a bag with as much as you can fit. Usually, it's half the normal cost. The only way to find out: ask your cabin steward early in the trip. They'll tell you when the deal day is coming, and you can plan ahead. For longer cruises, it's a lifesaver, saving both money and suitcase space. You open your cabin door and pause. There's a smell, maybe spicy food, maybe heavy perfume, maybe something you'd rather not identify. You check the bathroom. You open the balcony, but it lingers. Here's the secret. In many ships, cabin ventilation systems are shared between rooms. That means your neighbor's curry dinner or strong cologne can drift right into your space. If it's bad enough, the solution is simple: report it. If other cabins are open, you might be moved without a fuss. And no, you're not imagining it. When you piece all these secrets together, a cruise ship transforms in your mind. It's not just a floating hotel, it's a carefully engineered ecosystem. Part luxury resort, part retail mall, part theater, and part hidden backstage. Every smell, every hallway, every sales pitch and quiet corner exists for a reason. And when you understand those reasons, you stop being just another passenger swept along with the current. You become an insider, someone who moves through the voyage with eyes open, knowing where to look, when to ask, and how to get the best out of every moment. The takeaway is simple: knowledge is your best travel companion. These secrets aren't meant to make you suspicious of every interaction. They're meant to give you power. Power to spend smarter, explore deeper, and experience your cruise on your own terms. Cruising is still about joy: sunsets over calm seas, laughter over dinner, the thrill of arriving in a new port. But when you understand the hidden side, those moments become even richer. Because now you're not just along for the ride, you're in control of it. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the unspoken side of cruising. If you found these insights valuable, subscribe to Cruise Watch for more real cruise stories, behind-the-scenes truths, and tips that can change the way you travel. Until next time, smooth seas, safe travels, and may your next voyage be as smart as it is unforgettable.